Hey guys, alrighty. So I did a bit of a post on my socials and on Facebook regarding a bit of a test patch of some weathering I did on this tub. So, and I actually said, look, Ken, if anyone wants to see a video, let me know. And a few of you guys said, yep, cool, in for that. So here we go. I will have, well, this is the finished product, but video coming right now. Okay, so you can see I've actually already started the this process, but essentially all I'm using is PVA, which is polyvinyl acetate, which is actually just wood glue, just your cheap old wood glue. This is actually something that you mix with mortar just to I guess strengthen it, but this is actually PVA as well, wood glue. Put a little bit in a bowl. I sometimes use a rag or a sponge of some sort. Essentially what you're trying to do is you're trying to get a natural dabbing effect on the application. So essentially what we're trying to do here is I've put down the base coat, which I went through before, and then you put down this PVA, you wait for it to dry, which it'll dry clear. Then you paint over that with your top coat, which in this case is Springtime Yellow. Wait for that to dry, and then you get yourself some sandpaper and you sand back the areas, or I guess the whole lot, lightly. And when you hit the glue areas, the Springtime Yellow, the top coat won't stick to that, or at least it'll peel off, exposing the base coat. So that's essentially what we're doing. And the effect is over here, like I showed you. So I'll go through this. It's a bit of a process. Apply it all to the areas that you want to achieve that weathering effect. And remember, little is a lot. You can go too far with this, so don't go too silly with applying it, because it can be, you can get carried away really easily. Alrighty, there you go. It looks like it's snow time. So that's all applied. I've got to now wait for it to dry. It will take some time. So essentially you want to wait till that goes clear, which means it's cured. And we'll show you the next stage, which will be a top coat. Hey folks. I realized I put that video together that I didn't actually do a video of the base coat. So it's pretty simple, to be honest. The base coat was just black. So I obviously primered the bed, then I put a black over it. I'm using acrylic. Not that that really matters, but so acrylic primer, acrylic black, and then I went over the black with a light spray of red oxide. So you'll see sort of those patches of red, which is the red oxide. I guess a bit like a camo sort of effect. So by doing multiple colors, when you do the effect and you peel off the top coat, it exposes different colors underneath. So it's not only black, there's a little bit of red oxide as well, or whatever color you choose. But essentially, you know, your darker tones, like your black and your red, your dark reds, your earthy colors are more your earthy tones that you want to expose, right? Because that's sort of the rust and the weather sort of styling effect. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that at the start of the video. So you'll see now my video showing me adding on that PVA glue, but just to sort of give you a bit of information on that base coat and how I did it. Okay guys, well there we have it. I'm going to pretty much call that done. I don't really want to overdo it just because you can overdo it really easily. You get carried away and you sort of keep on scratching away and sanding until it's like it's a little bit too much. So you've sort of got to take a look at, I guess, the rest of what you're doing and sort of match it in a way. I mean, the tubs are always going to be a lot more scratched up than the outside. And in particular, this one was a lot more scratched up, but I'm just going to leave it like this. I think I'm happy with the way it's turned out. The headboard turned out pretty good. There's a few areas where you can see, you know, the discoloration of paint, but I think it'll be all right. It'll you know, things will change over time as well. What I did do I just used this bit of box section and I ran that acrossways. And what it does, it sort of gives you more of a level ground to sort of get these scratches in place, and sort of rather than, you know, you can get a screwdriver and run it over it, but it's sometimes screwdrivers seem to be a little bit too heavy and they take out too much of a chunk, whereas a bit of box section, you've got this whole flat section here that's, as you can see, it's discolored this box section, and it actually runs the whole surface over. You know, your box runs over a whole flat surface, which then gives you a bit more of a natural scratch. And I've done that on actually a lot of this floor. So you can sort of see here where some red oxide has come through. Now, and also some black. So essentially what you're trying to do is take off those bubbles, that the glue essentially. So you scrape off the glue. I did use a spatula. I started using a spatula, right? So I had these two things here, gasket remover and a spatula. Now I found they were a little bit too aggressive. I ended up finding this bit of box section, which is actually, it was the right size in order to fit in between the ribs and also on top. So what I actually did was, there was a little bit of glue there, just sort of tap it across and it just chips off. So that's the whole beauty or purpose of using the glue. Is it, that's probably not a good example. Yeah, here we go. So there's like a little bubble of glue, I guess you might say. So that just chipped off. Depends on how many coats of top coat you put on as to how easy it does chip off. Some of them chipped off easy, others chipped off a little bit harder. So it took a little bit more force to get them off. But yeah, essentially that's, there you go, there's a little bit there. Let's see if we can, there you go. Just chip that like that. So, and then you expose the dark coat underneath. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Looking good. Like I said, when you do it, just make sure you don't go too far, because you can go too far. I did a few scratches like through here, acrossways. I just used a screwdriver to do that, or a corner of that bit of steel. You know, a few little scratches across here, just using a sharp edge of something. A few little, you know, details. And again, like I said, I used that box section as well, just to sort of do this little corner here, because there was actually a hole for an auxiliary tank on both sides. And I did that section as well. This side probably isn't as good, but I might even go over this again. We'll see once it gets into the light, we'll have a look. I actually did Bondo up the inside of those holes where the auxiliary tanks were, and just weathered those as well, so you can't even tell. Okay, so here's a little corner that I'll just show you how I'm doing a little bit of weathering on it. You can see I've sort of sanded it off a little bit just to expose underneath. Now, I didn't actually do a video of this corner, but underneath, again, I sprayed it in red oxide and then black. So I've slowly or lightly sanded that back just to expose a little bit of darkness behind it. I'm actually just going to take a bit of box section steel and rub it lightly against the face of that lengthways, just to sort of give it a little bit of a natural scratch effect, you know, like it's maybe rubbed up against trees or something. So I've already painted springtime yellow over this. So I sort of just want to bring it back to a little bit more of a natural wear. You don't need much. Like I said, less is more. And even just a bit of rust on that steel is actually coming through on the body there. So you can sort of see here a few scratches. Still a little bit of a discoloration. I'll probably do a little bit more sanding on that, but that's how you can get some natural sort of scratches, I guess you might say. On the other side, I've done some more scratches using this technique. It's probably turned out a little bit better actually. But yeah, it's not too bad at all. I hope you found that useful. It's look, there's a few ways you can do this technique. Sometimes you can actually use gravel. I've actually got a bucket of gravel there. That actually works well. Gravel works well if you're, how do I explain it? Look, in a tub, there's more scratches going, you know, lengthways, right? Things getting thrown in there and dragged along. So gravel's probably not going to work. Gravel would be good for, let's say you've got a bonnet or a hood or a roof where it's been sitting under a tree and there's like spots of rust that turn into the whole roof that's rusted. So gravel's good for doing that. So you put the gravel on. So you do your base coat of your red oxide or your black, like I did on the tub. You would put your gravel on. Then you'd paint your top coat on, then you'd basically brush the gravel off with a broom or your hand. So what's left is, obviously the paint, the top coat's not going to go in underneath that gravel. So you get this really natural effect of spots, of sort of rust in a way. So the gravel, because it's all different sizes, it's all different shapes, it's a perfect way of getting that natural effect. Now, a good thing to do would be to YouTube weathering using salt for scale models. That uses the same effect what we've done here and with that gravel/salt effect. I'm not using salt because it's actually too small of a particle. The gravel is actually a good size. So that's, if you wanted to sort of check out it in more detail on a smaller scale, which is where I've actually got these ideas from my old scale modeling days, go on YouTube. Yeah, like I said, weathering scale models using salt or wood glue or something like that. And it'll come up. There'll be plenty. There's heaps of them, especially in the military scene. Anyway, guys, yeah, like I said, hope you enjoyed that. Thanks heaps for watching. Really appreciate it. Until next time, ciao.